Hi everyone, this is Dave from Geekanoids and welcome to my Q&A session video for Tuesday the 23rd of November 2010. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with my Q&A videos, these videos give you the chance to ask questions, tech related, gadget, Mac, photography, anything you like really, and in a future video, hopefully your question will get featured. This particular video is answering questions that were posted on my 2nd of November Q&A video, and also questions that I've received via my Geekanoids iPhone app. Let's kick things off with the first question from Blothian01. What do you think of the Alienware M11X base model? Well, from a gamer's point of view, the Alienware range of laptops that are manufactured by Dell certainly do offer some great specifications. I'm not a big fan of PCs myself, but I do see that they do have their place on the market. With regards to the Alienware M11X, if you really need that ultra portability for gaming with decent power, then it's a good one to go for. But if you can certainly carry around something maybe a little bit bigger, for gaming I would probably go for a bigger screened laptop. Well, thanks very much for that question. Let's move on to question number 2. This one comes from Stuart Adams 1990. I've got a question too. Apart from being faster and better screen and FaceTime, what else do you think the new iPad will have? Well, I agree with you, the new iPad will most definitely have FaceTime, and that really relates to the cameras on the device. As well as a front-facing camera, I do think Apple will go along the lines of the Samsung Galaxy Tab, and they will also include a rear-facing camera as well. I also think that the next generation of iPad, we will probably see a USB port on it, and it will probably be one of these USB host ports where you can actually connect an external hard drive on the go and be able to transfer or pull data from that hard drive, or watch data stored on that hard drive if it was a video, for example. So I think we'll definitely see the camera, as you said, and obviously the FaceTime app, but also a USB port. With regards to other sort of features, we might well see a dual dock connector so that you can in fact dock it in either landscape or portrait format. I think that's something they certainly missed out on with the original iPad. Apart from that, I don't really think we'll see a much sort of real innovation in the next iPad. We might see a smaller version. I know Steve Jobs has said that the current size is the sort of proper size for a tablet device, but I think that they will be working on a smaller 6 or 7 inch iPad as well. So thanks very much for that question. Next question comes from Crazy Raccoon 86. Do you think that the new Apple products are getting a bit too thin? Well, that is a very appropriate question for me because I have actually got one of the new MacBook Airs coming to me. I'm hoping to be able to bring you a full review, product tour, and a real good look at the new MacBook Air. And this is one of Apple's latest releases, and it is an ultra thin, very, very portable 11 inch or 13 inch laptop. With regards to them getting a bit too thin, well, not really. I think they're doing a fantastic job on the design front, and as long as the thinness of these new models doesn't compromise the actual features, then I don't think it really matters. I think if they released a MacBook Air with no USB ports on it, that was just the same sort of thickness the whole way around the device, then I think they would get a lot of complaints. But they're very, very clever with their design, so I don't think really that they're getting too thin. And with regards to durability, even the MacBook Air is very strong. It's got a nice rigid case, so the fact that it's ultra thin at the front, I don't think compromises the product at all. So great question, thank you very, very much for that one. Next question is from Philip Reynolds 1997. Do you know any good Ipod Touch 4th generation cases that are available in the UK? Well, I've only got one recommendation for you on that front, and that is to go to proporter.com. If you do check out my main Geekanoids website, there is a link to the Proporter website, and you can get 10% off of any order that you place with them if you go through the link on my website. And they do a whole host of cases, including a lot of cases for the 4th gen iPod. So next question is from Everything Tech 1020. Do you think that when the next updates to the MacBook Pro happen, they will have flash storage like the MacBook Air? And that's from Tom. Well, Tom, brilliant question, and I do think 100% that when the next MacBook Pros are launched, which I anticipate to be around about sort of mid to end January of 2011, you will see either a flash storage model or a complete switch to flash storage, or at least a build to order option, so you'll be able to configure it with flash storage only. Whether or not they do flash storage or SSD is another question. I think they will probably go for flash storage because it allows them to create more room inside the laptop for these sort of better performing batteries. So I think definitely you'll see flash storage, and if not flash storage, they might resort to SSD on the new MacBook Pros. So great question. Let's move on to this one here from Computer Help 92. Can you make the Geekanoids app work on 3.1.3 OS because my iPod Touch is jailbroken, etc, etc? Well, I'm really sorry, Andrew, to tell you this, but the Geekanoids iPhone app will not work on 3.1.3, and there's no plans, unfortunately, to make it work on the older OSs of the iOS devices. Really sorry to disappoint, but we're really concentrating on just moving forward. Big news is that hopefully, and this isn't guaranteed, but hopefully by the end of the year or early 2011, we will have a universal app available that will work on both the iPhone, iPod Touch, and also give a much greater enhanced and a new user interface to iPad users as well. So sorry to disappoint you on the 3.1.3 question, but for everyone else, you have got something really great to look forward to with the new version 2 of the Geekanoids iPhone app. Now, next question. Danny Talks Tech. Awesome video. My dad wants a new Mac. What do you recommend? He wants something with a big screen but doesn't want an iMac, and he wants it to be speedy and light in weight. Well, if you want something with a big screen and not an iMac, then your only choice, if you want a built-in screen, is to go for a 15-inch or a 17-inch MacBook Pro. That will give you the lightness, it will give you the portability, and with regards to the 17-inch version, it will give you a very large screen as well. The only other way to do it is perhaps to go for something like a MacBook Air or a standard MacBook, or indeed one of the smaller 13-inch MacBook Pros, and then pop a 24-inch or 27-inch monitor on your desk. That way you've got the best of both worlds. You've got a nice portable and very lightweight laptop to carry around with you, and then when you're back at home you can just plug it into that external display and enjoy the larger screen. So that may well be worth looking at. It's probably the best option for you if you want both portability and a large screen when you're working at home. So, next question comes from Rage Monkey X. Hi Dave, great channel. I was just wondering how I would be able to play Blu-ray on a 21.5-inch iMac. Would I need to get some software, or do I need to get an external drive? If so, can you recommend one? Blu-ray playing on the Mac is still a problem. Any viewers out there know any real good solutions, please do let me know. Blu-ray burning is not a problem. You can buy an LG external Blu-ray writer for your Mac, and then you can use something like Roxio's Toast. In its latest version, it will support Blu-ray writers, but with regard to playing back Blu-ray content, I personally don't know of any solution at the moment. Well, we're round about halfway through this Q&A session, and I just want to let you know why you're not seeing my face on the screen for this Q&A. But I'm working on a new format, so hopefully for the next Q&A, which will be in the first week of December, you'll see a greatly enhanced experience for the Q&A sessions. I'm working on new camera placements and some new lighting as well. So you'll see a look at my studio whilst I'm recording the Q&As, and it'll give you a real insight into how I work as well. So keep your eyes peeled for the next Q&A, and if you've got any questions that you'd like to fire at me, then please do pop them in the comments of this video, or send me an email, geekanoids@gmail.com, and put in the subject field Tech Q&A, or of course ask me a question via my iPhone application. So let's get on with the Q&A for this video, and we're moving on to Sam Louis 54321's question. Could you review the Android Kindle app please? Well Sam, I will certainly try. I do have it installed on my HTC Desire HD. You do get a brief look at it in one of my HTC Desire HD videos, but certainly I'll try and do a review of it in the future. Next question comes from Drummer Kid 1993. Hi Dave, I'm thinking of entering into the world of DSLR photography and want to pick up a camera for under £350. I have two models in mind, the Canon 1000D and the Nikon D3000. Both have similar sensors and come with 18 to 55mm kit lenses. Then there's a few more specifications. He's asking, do you value the Viewfinder or Live View more, and which of these budget DSLRs or others do you recommend? Well, out of the two, I jumped straight in between the D3000 and the Canon 1000D. I would certainly recommend the Nikon D3000. It's got some fantastic reviews at the moment, very pleasing results, and out of the two I think it offers up a lot more features and the build quality is a lot more robust. You also asked about viewfinders or live view modes. Now I value the viewfinder more, but that's because I'm more into photography. If you're more into video capture, then I would certainly get the one with the better live view performance. But with regards to those two models, I would definitely favour the Nikon D3000. So, next question comes from Jason Studios. Hey Dave, awesome vids, very unique. Thank you very much. I am looking for a Mac. I use my computer mainly at home, but I travel to a lot of other countries. I use Office for homework daily, browse the internet, and a lot of graphics work in Adobe After Effects, Photoshop, Flash and Dreamweaver. I use a lot of social media and listen to a lot of music too. This is my first Mac, so I don't know which one to pick. Can you help please? I type a lot, and was wondering, are Apple keyboards good? From Jason. Well Jason, that is a very good question. You say you do a lot of After Effects, Photoshop and Dreamweaver work. Well, those particular applications don't take up a lot of screen real estate, so I'd be looking at either a 13-inch MacBook Pro or a 15-inch MacBook Pro. Now, the keyboards on both of those are the same size. Chiclet style keys, very comfortable to use, and certainly these latest Apple keyboards are one of the best that they've ever produced in my opinion. So you won't be disappointed with the keyboards for doing a lot of typing. Now, I suggested the 13-inch MacBook Pro or 15-inch MacBook Pro. If you're travelling around a lot, you could also consider the new 13-inch MacBook Air. It's got a nice 1440 by 900 resolution screen, so a very nice screen resolution, and it is ultra light. Now I can't pass judgment on it yet because I haven't received mine yet, but from the reviews and reports I've been hearing, it is a very good performer. But if you want an extra bit of performance, you're going to have to really go up to the 15-inch MacBook Pro model. So if that's within your budget and you don't mind carrying around a little bit extra weight, then certainly that's the one to go for. So I hope that's given you a little bit of an idea, and thank you very much for your question. Now, next question comes from Sharpie Got Techers. HTC HD7 with Windows Phone 7 OS or HTC Desire HD with Android 2.2 Froyo. So which phone should Sharpie Got Techers go for? Well, the two actual hardware devices, the HD7 or the Desire HD, both made by HTC, both very similar specification phones. But out of the two, we've got two different operating systems. Now I've reviewed both operating systems. Windows Phone 7 OS is a very fresh, very new way of doing things on a mobile phone. A lot of swiping, a lot of up and down, long home screen if you add a lot of tiles to it. I found Windows Phone 7 OS a bit limiting. You couldn't configure it quite the way you wanted it to be. I know you can move tiles around, but I prefer small application icons and widgets that I can move around, and I prefer to be able to mix and match the two. So for me, I would recommend based on the operating system, and that win has to go to Android 2.2. It is a brilliant operating system. Yes, it's got a few little problems, but they're being addressed with regular updates. So out of the two phones you mentioned, Sharpie got Techers, I would go with the HTC Desire HD, or take a look at the Motorola Milestone 2. That particular handset's also on 2.2 Froyo, and I'll be reviewing that one really soon. And that has a QWERTY physical keyboard as well, if you prefer a slide out keyboard. But certainly, to answer your question directly, I would be looking at an Android 2.2 device, and I probably would skip Windows Phone 7. That's just a personal opinion. Now, next question. Maraxani, can you give me a shout out? I'm doing a show on my channel called The Weekly Geek. Well, Maraxani, there's your shout out. If anyone wants to check out Maraxani's channel, then please do. I'll just highlight it on my screen as I'm speaking. This is Maraxani's message. So if you head on over to that channel there, you can check out The Weekly Geek. Next question comes from Chaos VR 426. Do you know of a microphone adapter for the iPhone to make the sound better? Well, you can get external headsets with microphones built in, including the likes of the Beats by Dre Solo HDs that I actually reviewed very short while ago, and that did improve the sound quality a lot. If you want a dedicated microphone to plug in, then I did also review a small microphone on my channel. It was an Interdeals microphone, so if you check that out, that had quite good sound quality as well, but they are few and far between if you're looking for a dedicated iPhone microphone. Okay, now we've got a few questions from the same viewer, Gumball Tech, who does take a big part in my videos, actually posts a lot of comments, so thank you very much for that. First question is, have you ever thought about Hackintoshin the PC that you built? Well, I did think about it. I did actually recently inquire with a friend about doing this, but it does seem like a lot of hassle, and I think for now I'm going to stick with obviously my Mac Pro that I've got, which runs Mac OS perfectly, of course, and keep the PC on Windows 7 so that I can use it for testing other products and for bringing you more reviews. So no, personally I'm going to give it a miss for me, but if you have any luck doing it, please do let me know. Certainly interested in learning anything about building these Hackintoshes. Next question from Gumball Tech is, do I still use my Magic Trackpad? Well, I can certainly say 100% definitely I have got rid of the mouse on the Mac. All I use is the Magic Trackpad now, and it is a fantastic device. If you see any of my videos of the desk tour, you will still see a mouse laying there on the desk, but I can honestly say that I don't use it. The trackpad does a fantastic job, and it's one of the better devices that Apple have produced where they're trying to break away from the mould of the mouse. So yeah, definitely the Magic Trackpad is a fantastic device to use. And the last one from Gumball Tech, another cheeky question, can you give my channel a shout out? Well, there you go, there's your shout out, Gumball Tech. Please do check out Gumball Tech's channel. He does take a big part in my videos and posts a lot of very useful comments on my videos, so it's well worth checking out Gumball Tech's channel too. Next question from W.S. Landry. Hi Dave, have you heard anything about Mac bringing back the black MacBook that went for $1,100? No, I think they've steered away from the black MacBook. It was sort of a special edition. They charged a premium for the black finish. I think that they will stick to their current lineup and keep it all the brushed aluminium sort of finish. I don't think they're going to release a black one again, but I might have to eat my hat, who knows. Come Christmas or January, they might release another one, but I can't personally see it happening. Awesome Gaming. Hey Dave, can you do a bloopers video for your 750th episode? Well, I've gone past my 750th video. I do have a lot of bloopers. I make a lot of mistakes in my videos. Always end up editing them out. I will try and do one in the future. It's not high on my priority list, to be honest. But if I get enough requests, if you want to see a bloopers video of me messing things up, please do let me know in the comments, and I will certainly consider bringing that plan forwards. So, next one. Mohitra JRox1. Hey Dave, great vids, thank you very much again. I am planning to buy a MacBook Pro 13-inch, but the main problem is the processor. So what do you think? Shall I wait for a refresh or buy it right now? Is there any chance of a processor upgrade on it? I can wait another 4 to 5 months, that is not a problem. Well, I would definitely wait till January. I think that the MacBook Pro lineup is going to get a refresh in January. Whether or not the 13-inch version will go up to the Core i3 or Core i5 processor, I'm not sure. Is it worth waiting? Well, if you need a laptop now, buy it, but you have said that you can wait 4 to 5 months, and within that time frame there will definitely be a refresh on the lineup. So if it was me and I could wait, I would definitely wait. Next question, Jonathan D538. Hey Dave, I have had my HTC Desire for about 1 month now and I love it, but I was really gutted when I saw the new HTC Desire phones. My question is, how different are these phones and should I have waited? PS, will there be a Geekanoids app for Android? Well, regarding the new Desire phones, I think you're referring to the Desire Z and the Desire HD. Whether you should have waited, well, you needed a phone at the time. Your Desire is still a very good phone, very capable. These new ones differ in quite a few ways, but nothing fantastically different. They're certainly faster performers, the screens have been improved, got better cameras, but it doesn't make your HTC Desire a bad phone. So I don't think you've made a mistake by buying the phone that you currently have. Will there be a Geekanoids app for Android? Yes, there will be one in the future. I'm just trying to work out a way of either affording to get it developed or a way of developing it myself. And it is a big job. It's not an easy task. So all I would say is, yes, I am planning it. If anyone out there knows a good Android developer who wants to develop the Geekanoids app on that platform, maybe for free, that would be good. I like the word free, but if not, please do get in touch and let me know. I would certainly love to bring the Geekanoids app experience to the Android platform. Now, the last question on the actual video comments before I move over to my ones that I've received via the iPhone app is from Jobster, and it says, "Hi Dave, all your videos are great. My question is, what do you do with the gear you review that you no longer need or want? Do you recycle them, give them to charity, etc.? I really think it's important for us gadget geeks to be environmentally responsible, and any tips you have as to how you discard unwanted stuff would be great." Well, I do get asked this question a lot. First of all, thank you for the compliment about my videos being great. I really do appreciate everyone who watches the videos. With regards to the review products, now I will update you on this on a monthly basis, but to let all of you know, when I get sent products, I don't get sent them to keep. I think if I get sent a product and the person says to me, "Here, have this totally free of charge," it can create sort of an unbiased opinion on the product. I always like to offer the product back to the company that I'm requesting it from or being offered it from, and that means that I can be very subjective on whether it's good or not. Now, 95% roughly of the products that I review are loaned to me by companies. At the end of the review, they're normally picked up by courier, so they get sent back to the manufacturer or the retailer that sent me the product. I do get to keep a few of them. I'd be lying if I said I didn't. But of the ones I get to keep, I normally give those away to friends, family, relatives, or I offer them up to viewers in the competitions. I do a lot of giveaways, normally 1 a month, sometimes 2 a month. I do actually give away products. And at Christmas time, for example, not Christmas video this one, but on my 500th video I did a big giveaway where one viewer won a whole box of goodies, and I will be doing that in December. I'll be putting together a nice big box of goodies to give away to somebody. So I certainly do recycle them in that way. I pass them on to other sort of viewers. Now, the remaining 5% of items that I review, sometimes I buy them or I borrow them from friends. With regards to the friends ones, they're obviously returned after the review. With regards to the remaining few, and they are very few that I actually buy, then I still try and bring you a subjective review and let you know if there's anything bad with the product. But those ones I do keep, and I normally buy things that I'm going to use in production of the videos. For example, the Desk Tour and Mac Pro video that I bought you just a few weeks back is of the Mac Pro that I purchased to do my video processing on. So I didn't just buy it for the review, I bought it to actually use in the Geekanoids office. So I hope that answers your question. Great question from Jobster. And now I'm going to move on to the questions that I received via my Geekanoids iPhone app. Okay, so this question comes from Morgan. What is a good iPhone 3G case you recommend, and which brand and material is the strongest to use for a iPhone 3G? Well, a case I'd recommend is the Spec Candy Shell. It was one of my favourites for the iPhone 3G. So I'd go over to Spec Products there. It's one of my bloopers. I'm not going to edit that one out. So let's try that again. The Candy Shell for the iPhone 3G from Spec Products. Head on over to their website, specproducts.com, and you will see the Candy Shell case. With regards to the strongest material, well, I do like the Zag Invisible Shield products. That's a very strong material for protecting your mobile devices, and they do make a protection skin for the iPhone 3G. So if you want to carry your iPhone without a case, head on over to zag.com, that's ZAGG.com, and check out their skins. Next one is from Jordan. What would you say is a good HD, preferably 720p, cheap camcorder? Well, I can certainly recommend the Sanyo Zacti VPC SH1. It's one that I've used for quite a long time now. Very, very nice camcorder, does 720p. It's going to cost round about the £240 mark if memory serves me right in the UK. If you want to go even cheaper, then maybe look at one of these flip style cameras. Now, the Panasonic HM-TA1, which I recorded a review of on my channel, very good performer. I was really pleased with it. It performed a lot better than the handheld sort of pocket type camcorders that I used previously, and that one comes in at round about the £130 to £150 mark. So again, very, very good price for that sort of specification camera. There's also the Kodak Play Touch, I think it's called. Haven't actually reviewed it, but people have been saying that that one's quite good. And again, that's around about the £150 to £170 mark. So 3 options for you there. Great question, Jordan. Thank you very much for posting that one. Next question is from Garrett. Now, hey Dave, I love your videos. Quick question. I was on Apple's website and watched their September 2010 iPod keynote. I noticed they didn't even mention or even picture the iPod Classic lineup. Do you think that's a sign they might discontinue it? Well, Garrett, I don't think they will discontinue the iPod Classic. I just think there was nothing they could do with it. I think they're going to keep it in their lineup just as the, well, as it's aptly named, the classic iPod for people who've got massive audio collections, and I don't think they're going to change it anytime soon. Maybe next September comes, we might just see a slight redesign on it, but I don't think they'll do anything drastic with it. Otherwise it wouldn't remain the iPod Classic if they changed it too much. So thank you very much for that question. Next one is from Sean. Hey Dave, I was just wondering why they don't sell the Panasonic SD700 in the US, because I just want a decent camcorder without any memory, and the only choice in the US is the TM700. Well, not so much of a question from Sean. I wasn't aware they didn't sell the SD700 in the US. I'm sure if you shopped around you could find it. There's no reason at all why Panasonic wouldn't offer this model in the US. So I'm going to do a little bit of digging around for you. If I find out anything, I will certainly answer your question in a little bit better detail via email. Okay, next question from Steve. Dave, I love your videos. Could you tell me why your YouTube videos come through so much clearer on your app than they do on the YouTube app that comes on the iPhone? Well, Steve, I did some testing myself. I couldn't see any visible difference between the two. I also asked the iPhone app developer, Super Technoboff, if he had any ideas, and he again said there shouldn't be any difference between the two. So I'm really not sure why. There's not even really any settings that you can sort of put into the app to make it produce any different quality. The only thing I'm guessing is were you watching them on a Wi-Fi connection or a 3G connection? Maybe if you went through the 3G connection on the iPhone, on the actual YouTube app, maybe you were getting a slightly lower slightly higher compressed version of the video. But apart from that, I've really got no idea. Have another look and get back to me with some more detail, and I'll look into it for you again. Robert's the next question. My PC, when I turn it on, shows compact and then just has a flashing. I have no restore discs. What can I do? Well, you're going to need Windows discs, Robert. Unfortunately, you're going to need to start from CD and perhaps reinstall the operating system. You say it's a compact, it might, just thinking about it, it might have a restore partition. So what you need to do is when your computer's starting up, if you hit either, it's normally delete, and that will take you into the BIOS, just have a look in there at the startup devices or the boot devices on the PC and see if there's a partition listed, something like recovery partition. That might well get you back up and running. So next question from Adam. Do your children help you make videos? First question. Second question. What do you think about the rumour that Apple are going to start selling their products much cheaper and through retailers such as PC World? Okay, first one about the children. My son does help me with the gaming videos. It's not through me needing help really with them, but he shows a great interest in what I do. Really does make me feel proud that he shows that interest. So yep, he helps with the gaming videos, and it is a great help, especially with like the Call of Duty Black Ops videos, where he is a extremely good player. The rumour about Apple selling products cheaper through retailers such as PC World, well, if you'd asked me that a few months ago, I'd have said it wasn't going to happen. But just recently they did start selling the iPad in the US cheaper through some retailers. If it happens in the UK as well, that'd be absolutely fantastic. A good idea as well, if they're going to start selling in volume and you can go to somewhere like PC World and save yourself 10 or 20%. Brilliant, bring it on Apple. It'd be absolutely fantastic if that starts happening. And I don't think it'd cheapen the brand either. I think it'd just do well to increase their market share. Next one is from Eddie. Do you like the Beatles? I'm just curious. Well, Eddie, yeah, I like some of the Beatles tracks, but not a great fan. Next one is from George. Hi Dave, can you do a tour of your home cinema setup? Well, George, it's not fantastic. It comprises of a 40-inch Samsung LCD TV, one of the original series ones. Also a couple of floor standing speakers, a centre speaker, and then 4 dipole speakers, all made by Monitor Audio. And then I've got an Onkyo receiver, one of their bottom of the range Onkyo receivers. Cost me about £600-700, and it performs extremely well. Not looking at changing it anytime soon. Will I do an actual video tour? Probably not. It's not something I'm going to concentrate on. Maybe in the future, but probably not, to be honest. Well, that's the end of this Q&A session video. Thank you to everyone who asked questions. If you've got any more questions for next time, please do post them in the comments on this video. Or if you've got the Geekanoids iPhone app, then please do send me Q&A video questions via the app. Until next time, have a great day, enjoy your tech, and thanks very much for watching.